Namaste to all viewers. I welcome all of you to my presentation. The presentation will focus on types of information needs. I am Dr. Manorama Tripathi, librarian at Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi. And the presentation will cover types of information needs, current information needs, exhaustive information needs, everyday information needs, catching up information needs, and then library and information services which are offered by the libraries to meet the needs of researchers, of students, of faculty members. Viewers, as we all know, that we need information in each and everything we do. In daily life, if we do anything, or we undertake on anything, or if we want to accomplish anything, we need information. And whether you are a school, whether you are a school going student, or even if you are a college going student, or you are a researcher, initial stage researcher or advanced stage researcher, or you are teaching, you need information, which means we all need information irrespective of our age, irrespective of our level of education, because we need information because uh, we want to reach our desired state. That means there is some gap in our present state, and we want information to accomplish to reach to our desired state of affairs. So all users, all students, all researchers, teachers, and different professionals have different kinds of information needs, and libraries offer different services to attend to cater to the information needs of users. So this presentation will focus on types of information needs, and in order to cater to those information needs, what steps libraries undertake to meet to those needs. So, as I said, we need information whether we are in the field of education, whether we are undertaking research in any field, even in our day to day life, even for attending to simple day to day activities, we need information. Information at times, maybe we need general information in order to cater to our information needs. At times, we may need specific information to meet our needs. Now, what are current information needs? Viewers, when users need information to keep themselves up to date with the latest developments in their area of interest on a regular basis, the need is known as current information need. Here, users do not need specific information but need to regularly keep themselves abreast of information not only in their own area of interest but also of developments that may affect their work. So, in current information needs, what happens? Users need information to keep themselves up to date with the latest developments. That means users need to keep themselves updated, they need to be in the know of the latest developments in their field. In fact, they don't need any specific piece of information, but then they are required to stay updated, to know the trends, to know what is happening in their field of research, in their field of work, in their field or in their work. That is why this is known as current information need. Then we have exhaustive information needs. When users wants to have information on a particular subject as exhaustive as possible, that means when a user, when a student, or when a researcher, or when a teacher wants to have exhaustive, in-depth information in a particular field, that is known as exhaustive. That means a teacher or a user needs to know of each and every aspect of a particular field, and that is exhaustive. That is, he should know whatever information is available in that particular area and in a very comprehensive manner, and that is known as exhaustive information need. A researcher, before starting research on a particular topic, surveys the literature published in that area as comprehensively as possible. This is important. You viewers should pay attention to this. as comprehensively as possible with a view to select a new area for his or her research, as well to avoid duplication of research effort. Why is it important? For example, a researcher wants to undertake research in any particular area. Then he has to survey the published literature, the published articles, the published contents which are available in that field, because he needs to know before he initiating his research, he should know what already has been done, what journals, what information sources have already published, so that he knows what is required, what are the gaps in the present literature, and how he should address them. So, exhaustive information mean that a user or a researcher should know in a very comprehensive, in a very detailed manner what is already available, what contents are already available in his or her field. Why it is important for him to know? Because then accordingly he will initiate his or her research. And this way he or she will avoid duplication of research. He will avoid uh, 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 unnecessarily duplication of efforts will be avoided, and wastage of energy will be avoided. This is very important. That is why exhaustive information needs should be met. And then exhaustive information need also arises when researcher is reporting his or her research finding in order to compare his or her research results with the results of earlier studies. It's very important for a researcher to know what has already been published, what has already been reported, because when he is reporting his research results, then he needs to compare what has already been said. He needs to compare the earlier published findings in order to substantiate his findings, in order to corroborate his findings, and at the same time, if the results are in complete contrast of the already published findings, even that needs to be reported. That is why a researcher needs to have exhaustive information of all that is already available, that is already published in his area of research. And this is what is meant by exhaustive information needs. Then we have everyday information needs. This need is for a specific piece of information which users require generally in their day to day work related activities. For instance, a social scientist working in a particular research area may want some specific piece of information, may want some specific data or figures. This need for is basically for factual information. Everyday information needs is basically for factual information. That means seeker or user wants to know the fact, wants to know the exact precise information. For example, it may range from how to spell a word, or how to find out a telephone number of an industry, or to know the names and address of approval granting bodies. For example, if a researcher is a social scientist researcher working at a university, then he may need to find out that while he is submitting his proposal, or while he is submitting his proposal for seeking some grant, what are the different bodies where he can apply, where he can submit his proposals. So these are, in this case, he needs very specific, very precise information, and precise and specific information refer to everyday information needs. Then a particular researcher, if a researcher is pursuing research in any particular field, then he may want to know about the journals or the books of his field available in his or her library. So this is important, because researchers simply wants precise, exact information. What are the different journals or books available in his field? Then we have catching up information needs. This need arises when a user who is not conversant with a particular subject field requires an account of overall development of that subject in short and most comprehensive manner. This type of information, this type of information need is grouped as catching up information need. It arises when a scientist or technologist conducts research on a multidisciplinary project. In that case, he or she may be an expert in one of the disciplines, in one of the subject areas, but to catch up with other disciplines, but to catch up with other subject areas which fall within the purview of the current project, he or she requires a brief overview of those disciplines in simple and understandable form. That means a researcher is basically from some other area, but he or she has undertaken research in another area of and another area he is not an expert in, another area he is not an expert. So before initiating his research or his work, he should know about the new area, all the trends, all the developments of a new area in a very comprehensive manner. So these are catching up information needs. So you have seen there are different types of needs. We have current information needs, we have comprehensive information needs, then we have information needs in everyday day to life. And these are the different information needs in which users or researchers, students or teachers or professionals may need very precise, specific or factual information, or they may need to have access to to information in a very comprehensive or in a very exhaustive manner. So now, what is the role of libraries? How do libraries meet these information needs of the users? Libraries provide different kinds of information. They organize, they acquire, they procure, they organize different kinds of information resources in order to cater to the wide variety, to the wide and varied information needs of the users. So, users may be students, users may be research scholars, or scientists, or teachers, or professionals of any field. Responsive information service. The service that is provided in response to a specific request. Libraries provide two kinds of services basically: responsive information service and anticipatory information service. As the very term indicates, responsive, that means service which is being provided in response to a specific request. That means a user comes in, a user walks in and says that he wants a particular service, a particular information. So in response to his query or in response to her query, library provides some service, and that is known as responsive information service. Then we have anticipatory information service. That means library organize, libraries or procure, they acquire, they procure, they organize, they display various information sources, they preserve different information sources because they think that they anticipate that these sources, these kinds of the information from these sources will be required by users in future. So the service that is provided in anticipation of some need, that means service which is provided before the need arises. This is very important. This is where lies the difference. In responsive information service, there is a need, and then step number 2, service is provided. And in anticipatory information service, initially service is provided, service is deployed, service is arranged, then comes the need. That means service is deployed before the need arises, or before the query arises, or before the query is raised by some user. So responsive information services, these are also known as passive information services, are provided in response to a request from the users. The request may come from users in person, over the telephone, through correspondence, or via email. Request may be for finding general information about the library, its layout, how to become a member, how to use catalog, or for finding answers to a particular question or for getting a particular document from the library. So this is very important for the viewers to know that in library how uh, responsive information services are provided. That means a user may walk in, he may like to find out how to use. A user may not be aware of using a catalog, he may not be aware of how to use an OPAC, he may not know how to access OPAC. So he may make a request that he wants to find out what are the different books available in the library on a particular subject area. So here he wants to know how to access the information related to the collection of books or journals available in a library. And so library staff will respond by providing him access to OPAC or by telling him how to access OPAC and find out the details. And then maybe a user wants to know about the various sections of the library, or maybe user wants to know where will he find a particular document in a library. So these are all needs which arise, and library responds to them and provides meets these needs which arise. Responsive information service, we have provision of general information. That means under this, library may provide some general kind of information. That means how to use an OPAC, or maybe a user wants to know where a particular section is located in the library, and so on and so forth. Then, in responsive information service itself, reference service is provided. Reference service includes ready reference service, and it also includes long range reference service. Then further we have literature search and compiling a subject bibliography. Maybe a researcher walks in and wants to find out what are the published studies, what is the literature available in a particular area of research which he or she is pursuing, and he or she may ask, or he may or she demand a subject bibliography. Then library will be required to prepare a subject bibliography, a record, a listing of all the books or journals or journal articles which are available in its collection. Assistance in the use of library collection and library tools. This means that books are arranged, or different sources of information are arranged. Like journals, they are arranged in an alphabetical manner. Books are arranged according to subjects. So a user may need to know that how to access the collections, how to use or browse the stacks or library tool. A user may not know how to access OPAC, so he may require assistance or help from library. Then document delivery service. In this, what happens? Uh, as we all know, no library can be self-reliant, because there are millions and billions of documents which get published every year in different languages, and different journals are published, and then there is paucity of space. Library can't procure and can't acquire, can't organize each and every document which get published. So if a user needs a document, say a particular book or a particular journal article which is not available in the library, then a user or a researcher or a student will submit his or her request, and then library will procure it from some other partner library or from some other alliance library, and this is known as document delivery service. Then we also have referral service. Under referral service, what happens is that exact information is not provided, but the source where information will be available is provided. That means information about the source where information is available is provided. That means exact information is not provided, but the source of information is provided. That means the user or the student or the researcher is referred to the source of information, and this is what is known as referral service. That means the user or the student or the researcher is referred to the source. Then provision of general information. OPAC, it's online public access catalog. For example, a user may walk in and he may not know how to access OPAC, how to use different features of OPAC, basic search, advanced search, how to search OPAC by author, by title, or by subject. So here, library staff offers his assistance. Then often users walk in and they want to know the location of particular sections, and here directional assistance is offered. And libraries on a very routine basis conduct user orientation programs. These are also known as user education programs or user initiation program. User initiation program may be in the form of lecture by librarian followed by a tour of the library. Some libraries prepare audio-visual kits for this purpose. Other libraries distribute library brochures containing all kinds of information about the services and collections. Whatever may be the format of these programs, the basic objective is one and the same: to introduce the users to the collections and services of the library. Then reference service is also considered as a personal service which is provided in response to the request from the users. Request may be for locating answers to fact-finding questions, literature search, for solving a research problem, or for compiling a bibliography or for general help. To provide the service, librarian may utilize the resources available in the library as well as available outside the library. Basic aim is to make the information available to the users as early as possible. That means user should not be wasting time in locating information or getting information before he uses it. In ready reference service, data or facts are provided, while in long range reference service, documents, periodicals, or reports containing information are provided. Sometimes information is selected from various sources. The information is analyzed, evaluated, synthesized, and repackaged to suit the information requirement of the user. As we have already talked about these, ready reference service or short range reference service, long range reference services, this service is generally provided to a specialist who is seeking information. And in ready reference service or short range reference service, information is immediately or instantly provided. For example, the user may require some specific data or some specific figure. In long range information service, information for research work or to solve a particular problem is required. Information may be sought from information which is required is too specialized in nature, or it may be too recent, it may be related to earlier period, or it may be in another language. So all these things are addressed to in long range reference service. We have already talked about these services which are provided under responsive information services. Then we have anticipatory information services. Anticipatory information services are provided to library users in anticipation of their demands for such services. These are also called active information services. The need for such services is due to exponential growth of published literature, particularly in the field of science and technology, interdisciplinary nature of frontline areas of research, resulting in scattering of information in different disciplines, and publications of research results in different types of sources. Like we have primary research periodicals, research reports, conference proceedings, dissertations, and so on and so forth. Documents may be in different languages as well as in different formats, like we may have print resources, we may have electronic resources. Then anticipatory information services also include current awareness type. Under this, we may provide accession list, we may provide current awareness list, or a documentation bulletin may be provided. Then other services which are provided by libraries are title announcement service, contents by journal service, selective dissemination of information, research in progress bulletin, newspaper clipping service, then condensation type, readers advisory type, and then information literacy training. Then libraries also provide internet-based services, like all libraries have their websites, and websites through their websites, libraries try to provide each and every kind of information about the collections and services which they organize or which they extend to users. Libraries provide access to different databases. Databases are basically collection of documents. Databases may have journals. There may be databases of journals. There may be databases of e-books. Then libraries also provide access to e-journals. Libraries may be providing access to individual e-journals. Then libraries also provide access to courseware. Then virtual reference service. Virtual reference service is reference service which is provided electronically. That means when users employ computers or other internet technology to communicate with reference staff, and without that means reference staff is there to provide services through email or through chat, and the users are not present physically in the library to avail of this service. Communication channel used frequently in this kind of service is chat, video conferencing, co-browsing, email, or instant messaging. As you can see on the screen, virtual reference service, this is an example of electronic reference service which is being provided by uh, Delhi University Library System. Then you can see this is Press Reader. In fact, this is a database of newspapers from more than 120 countries, and newspapers and magazines are available in more than 60 languages. And viewers, this is very important for you to know that users or students or research scholars need to have access to information even for their day-to-day life. Users need to stay updated with what is happening around them. So newspapers play an important role, and this is a Press Reader. This is a database which libraries provide to their users, and through this database, users have access to thousands of newspapers and magazines from more than 120 countries and in more than 60 languages. So this is important for you to know. It has more than 7,000, see, 7,000, more than 7,000 online newspapers and magazines published from 120 countries in 60 languages. Then libraries also provide table of contents. It is an organized listing of your documents chapters, sections, and often figures, clearly labeled by page number. It lists all front matter, main content, and back matter, including the headings and page numbers of all chapters and the bibliography. As you can see on the screen, this is a table of contents you can see on the screen, and this is from Journal of Library Science, Journal of Documentation. So here table of contents lists all the articles which are published in this issue. Title, author, and you will get access to abstract, not full text. And then you can see this is the home page. This is the library website of Library and Documentation Division of Indira Gandhi National Open University, and it provides all information about collection services through the different tabs which you can see on the screen. This is on the screen. You see the OPAC of the library. Then e-resources you can see on the screen, which library subscribes. These are the different tabs, and if you click on a particular tab, then all the resources will be listed. Then it's very important for users to know that how libraries extend services, how libraries provide information through frequently asked questions. FAQ, which is known as FAQ, a frequently asked questions forum, is often used in websites where common questions tend to recur through posts or queries by new users related to common knowledge gaps. And this is very important for all viewers to know. You can see the frequently asked questions maintained by Library and Documentation Division of Indira Gandhi National Open University. Then libraries provide access to databases. An increasing number of bibliographic uh, databases are there. There may be numeric or full text databases on internet and which library provides. Then there are indexing and abstracting databases like Web of Science, Scopus, Indian Citation Index. These are provided by libraries to their users. Then MathSciNet provides reviews with regard to the journals published in the field of mathematics. You can see the home page of MathSciNet. It provides mathematical reviews. Then India, because we talked of general information needs or current information needs, where information seeker may simply ask for specific piece of information. So as you can see on the screen, it's the home page of indiastat.com. That means it is a database of socio-economic statistical information about India. We talked about specific information needs. That means a researcher or an information seeker may need a particular piece of information or may need some specific data. So libraries may provide access to data through these specific data through this indiastat.com. For example, a user may want to know about the population of India or the status or information with regard to demographics of any particular state. So all these data are available in indiastat.com, and libraries subscribes to this database in order to help users. As you and now you see on the screen its home page of Web of Science. It is another citation and indexing database. This is Scopus, another citation and indexing database which library provides to help users. And now you see on the screen homepage of eGyan Kosh. It's a national digital repository to store, index, preserve, and distribute and share digital learning resources developed by open and distance learning institutions in the country. That means it has full text of all the learning material published by Indira Gandhi National Open University for the different courses which it offers. Now you see on the screen a homepage of National Program on Technology Enhanced Learning. Why it's important for you to know? Because you should know, in order to cater to the information needs, libraries also provide links to important other websites or other sources. So in today's presentation, we have seen that information is a basic requirement. There are different types of information needs, and in order to meet those information needs, libraries provide different services. And these different services may be categorized as responsive information services and anticipatory information services. Thank you. I hope you have benefited from this presentation.